Oh, yeah, I have it right here.
Hey, it's talk time, baby. What's up? Corbs. Here with J Doubles. What's happening, John?
Hey, man, I actually found that document that we were talking about before we started recording, and I'm going to message you. I'm not going to say what it is because it's a secret between us, but I'm going to message it to you on Skype right here.
Oh, okay. I actually don't. Oh,
So,
thanks, I guess.
yep.
There are
There's
probably
there's-
1,000 more efficient ways to deal with that, but thank you.
yeah, well, it's taken care of. So, quick update. I know it's been a minute on the Bitch Center, so we want to make sure we
Oh, my God.
foreground this yet again. I just want to. Things are going well.
You know,
first
we
of
have
all.
to do 2 premiums this week because we forgot to do one last week.
Okay, well, that'll just keep the funding for the situation robust.
And here's the thing: this one's not going to be a premium.
Okay, well, I would prefer it if you stopped interrupting my update. I know that you're not as enthusiastic about this endeavor as I am.
Yeah,
but
okay. I just want everybody to know there's going to be 2 premiums this week.
So, in terms of how it's going really well. We have a bit of a floor plan, but there's not a specific designation purpose-wise for every room in the building and all that. So I am officially going to be fielding requests and ideas. So you can just find us on Twitter at TOBpod, of course. Hopefully you follow us by now. You can just tweet at us. You can send us a DM. Just let me know what you want the Bitch Center to be.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Now,
Sure.
moving on.
Please help us fill out this very flimsy bit.
Yeah. No,
Please
yeah.
help John fill out this very flimsy bit.
Well, I mean, I know that you keep acting like it's not happening, but it's definitely happening.
Cool, yeah.
So,
all right.
Definitely.
If we could raise... What's the project? $30,000 to make a bitch center. Why would we do that?
I don't really think that talking money on the podcast is.
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. That's rude.
Yeah, but we do have here that Kyle Korver recently traded to the Suns.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Well, he's been waived. So.
Oh.
The ideas about James Jones just doing favors for LeBron are going to keep on coming.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that actually kind of sounds like what that is.
Well, if he goes to the Lakers, it'll be pretty hard to deny that that's the situation.
Wow.
And
you know what? If that happens, that'd be pretty cool. You know what? If that happens, big respect to LeBron for having multiple franchises under his thumb.
I just want to know what the bond between those two dudes is. What happened?
Oh, wow. You think this is a LeBron has something on James Jones situation?
I don't know what. Maybe James Jones had something on LeBron. I don't know.
But then why would James Jones help LeBron?
Get Kyle Korver and Tyson Chandler.
Maybe they're just friends, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, they might just be friends.
We don't talk enough. I feel like we don't talk enough about the transformative power of friendship on this podcast.
You think that we should talk about that more?
Maybe not. It sounds kind of.
You think that we should talk about that more, but you are poo-pooing the Bitch Center, which is truly an epicenter of friendship. So you can
the Bitch Center. Can you explain the Bitch Center just in case anybody's behind? Oh, got it.
I think it's pretty clear what it is. It's a brick and mortar establishment for friendship and takes and just various activities.
Cool, great. Where is it going to be? What's the idea?
I'm not willing to disclose that yet.
Okie doke. Okay. Yep.
I know that geography is always a big question with podcast stuff in general because we're unrooted from such kind of confines in the podcast space, right? That's what makes the ambition of this Bitch Center sort of a little more tricky. But rest assured, I've got to take care of. Lakers roster construction. That's what it says here on the document.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Earlier, earlier today they signed Avery Bradley.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Real.
Who was basically
He's not good anymore, right?
he was basically the worst player in the NBA for someone who got that many minutes last year.
Cool.
In the same building that the Lakers were playing. Apparently they didn't do any scouting in the building that they have their franchise in. But yeah.
I mean, they don't have any scouts.
They might not, honestly.
Or they might only have scouts. Remember Chaz? Remember that?
No.
When what's his name was the team's primary owner?
Jerry.
Yeah, after Jerry, Jim.
Oh, Jim, yeah.
Yeah. There was a story about the Lakers and about how one of their scouts was just like a friend of his named Chaz.
That's tight.
Yeah.
The Lakers have always kind of operated in that way, though.
Yeah. No, it's a dirtbag operation.
Under the bus family, anyway. They've always been like a who's a good guy to have around.
Hey, we like this fella. Hey, and then Kobe was there, and nobody likes him, but they all had to convince themselves they did.
Right, because at that point
spread out.
They were completely subjugate to just like the Jerry West / Kobe badness continuum.
Yeah, the anhedonia complex.
Yes, that's where they were at.
Yeah, and now they're trying to get back to hey, we like this guy a little bit, but then the other half of them is LeBron, and LeBron is like, hey, I would like to win a title, thank you, and we're going to manipulate as many rubes as possible to make it happen.
Maybe they will reopen the Forum Club in a Staples Center in order to be more, and they will continue to, they will bring back the tradition of having sort of C-list or maybe just not lesser than that.
Mm-hmm. Less famous than Kerry Russell.
Right. Well, I don't know why you're citing Kerry Russell here, but
that's just like the most famous person who isn't going.
Well, I'm thinking of dudes. Like the dudes they pay in the 80s to just sort of walk around the bleachers and find hot women to bring to the Forum Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll bring that back. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Hopefully
not. That would be pretty skeezy.
Maybe that'll be what they try, though, in terms of how they're going to recapture Forum.
Yeah, because the Clippers, they're looking pretty. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, your guy Jerry West has really figured it out over there.
You shut the fuck up. He didn't do anything.
I mean, I'm not going to say he didn't do anything, but I definitely think it was above all like Kawhi's decision.
Yeah, and you know what? And like somebody, Cosmos, Brian.
Cosmos.
Yeah, Cosmos, Brian, on Twitter. People probably know him in real life too. I don't know. He said, I think this probably had a lot to do with Doc Rivers, and that makes a lot more sense than it having to do something with Jerry West, because people like fucking love playing for Doc.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach, and he's like a people person guy.
He's definitely a guy being a dude.
Yeah.
He's not at the Mike Malone level of a guy being a dude, but he's way up there. I wouldn't even say he's way up there. He probably is not even top 10 in NBA coaches in terms of guy being a dude, but he's way higher up there than Frank Vogel. I'll tell you that.
I don't know if I agree with you. I think he's pretty up there.
You think he's a top 5 guy being a dude?
Yeah,
coach?
I think he's more of a guy being a dude than Mike Malone.
Well, you clearly have not watched enough Mike Malone.
Okay, you know what? That might be true. But
you know who else is more of a guy being a dude than Doc?
Who?
Alvin Gentry.
Huh.
Alvin Gentry is extremely a guy being a dude.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you Gentry.
I love Gentry. Like, it's a very simple, like, presidential matter, right? It's do you want to get a beer with this guy?
Uh-huh.
And Gentry, imagine Gentry at the pub.
The pub?
He'd have everybody just slapping.
Is that what you call it now? the fucking pub.
He'd have just knees would be slapped.
Hey, I'm John. It's time to go out to the pub. Hey, get me a pint with some foam on it.
You know, your impression of me continues to evolve to being even better than it was before.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. What, that wasn't... Yeah. What did you think that was? That wasn't an impression.
Oh, well, what was it?
It's just a voice. It wasn't supposed to be John.
It was a lazy pastiche?
It wasn't even a lazy pastiche.
Oh, it wasn't even worthy of, like...
Yeah, I wasn't even acting. I was just like, you know... If I was being you, I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna go to the pub tonight. You know? Or maybe a little more out of the nose. Hey, I'm gonna go to the pub tonight. Okay, that was a little more Chicago than I meant. Okay, hey, I'm gonna go to the pub tonight. With my friends Patrick and Claire.
Sure. Anyway, Lakers roster. They got Boogie there now.
The Boog Lord.
They brought back Rondo.
Seems like a great idea.
They signed Danny Green.
That is actually a good idea.
It is a good idea. Some people are like, they gave him too much money. Yeah. I don't really care.
They gave him too much money. If they gave him too much money, it's in this very abstracted way that doesn't put any context into the structure of their team, because the thing they need is literally the exact thing that Danny Green does.
Yeah, and also, like, that's money that they had. It was just, like, cap space that they had, and he was one of the, honestly, few people left on the market after Kawhi said no, and they had to wait for Kawhi. Obviously, you have to wait for that. He's
True love waits. Let's
True
talk
love
about it.
Yeah. What is that, like one of those bad Radiohead songs?
That is one of the bad Radiohead songs. I was saying it as the slogan that teens say.
They say that?
Yeah, to not fuck. They're like, yeah, true love waits.
It's a not fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought of it in that context.
I actually kind of think True Love Waits is a good song too. I don't know.
Oh, I just don't like Radiohead.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
They just have an incredibly narrow range, and I just don't care for it. It's monotonous.
You don't even like Kid A?
It has its moments.
Because I'm not like you're not going to hear me talking about like, they're the king. Like, I like Wilco more than I like Radiohead.
I mean, Radiohead are undeniably world-class tone meisters. There's no doubt about that. But that takes me so far. It's always in the service of the same exact fucking sentiment and register. It's like, oh my God, Tom, learn another mood. Learn another mood.
There is a lot of like, the walls are closing in on me.
That's literally the only thing their songs are about.
What are the only things the Ramones songs are about, though?
I don't know, but the Ramones' entire discography is like not even 2 Radiohead albums, I think. So
that's not true. But...
I don't really know. What am I supposed to be, some sort of Ramones expert?
I don't know. Well, this is a Ramones podcast now.
Oh well, you're gonna have to find someone else.
What do you think? What do you think the best Ramones song is?
I mean, I probably only know like 6 or 7 of them.
Well, which of those is the best?
I like the KKK Took My Baby Away.
Oh, okay.
Blitzkrieg Bop isn't so bad. I'm running out of Ramones songs that I know.
I can't believe you know so few Ramones songs. I might not even know what kind of music you like, John.
What do you think I grew up?
Chicago.
No, when? Like, the Ramones were done when I was alive. When I was
you've never listened to an old album before? What did you listen to when you were a teen?
No. I listened to, like, Steely Dan.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, why would I get out of here? I'm telling the truth. Oh, I Want to Be Sedated is a good song. Sheena is a punk rocker. Actually, that's probably my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you really listen to Steely Dan?
Yes.
Does this still reflect what you listen to now?
I still listen to a lot of Steely Dan.
Do you listen to like the Doobie Brothers?
No, I don't listen to the Doobie Brothers. It's very different.
Is there another Steely Dan type group that you listen to?
Well, there is no other Steely Dan, no. I mean, Steely Dan, the bands that they would have recording his albums is like some of the greatest musicians alive at the time. So, and then they're all playing in service of these incredibly goofy songwriting ambitions, and the result is just spectacular each and every time.
John, had no idea you were a Steely Dan guy.
Well, I mean, it's called taste, buddy.
It's called something.
Yeah, taste.
What else do you listen to?
It really is completely inconsistent, honestly. I like Destroyer. That's the one band I listen to all the time. It's like a contemporary band.
Okay.
We're really getting off topic here, though.
Nah. Okay.
I really want you to talk to me.
Do you like
about
Yola? Maybe we've talked about Yola Tango before.
I love Yola Tango. Yeah.
Okay.
I love a lot of things.
Huh.
Recently, I've been listening to the song "High" by Young Thug a lot.
Uh-huh.
It samples Elton John's "Rocket Man."
Uh-huh.
Only briefly, though. Outstanding song. I listened to it repeatedly during firework moments over the holiday.
Because you got scared because you're a dog.
No, because it goes well with fireworks.
Oh.
Yeah. Young Thug is always good in the summertime. I don't know if you knew that.
Sure. That's the thing I don't listen to is contemporary rap music.
Young Thug doesn't rap very often, honestly.
Is he like one of those sing-songy guys?
He's very sing-songy. Yeah.
I don't care for that. I don't like. It's not. This isn't like an aesthetic judgment about the kids or anything like that. It's just not for me.
It is. Young Thug is objectively much better than Radiohead, but we could talk about the Lakers roster construction now if you'd like.
Sure, whatever. Sure, I'm sure it's what everybody wants to hear about.
Well, today they officially announced, for reasons that are unclear to me, they're like, LeBron will be our point guard this season.
They did do that. And I said, boy, what a bad idea. And you were like, what the fuck are you talking about? He plays point guard all the time. And I understand that he plays point and does primary point stuff for his teams all the time. Like, I understand that. But here's the thing. If he's doing this and they come out slow, what is the first thing they're going to talk about be?
I don't understand how what you're proposing is any different from what it would be like if they didn't formally announce that he's their point guard.
They shouldn't do that. Different. They should not formally announce he's their point guard. They
shouldn't
do that.
Formally announce that anyone is playing any position. Yes, but I think that this one is particularly a bad idea. Does that make sense? I think, as our friend Julian noted, I think it's mostly just they're providing cover because it's like they didn't really get any point guards on the market except for Rondo, who is not good.
No,
but that's the main reason they did it. It's not like, like LeBron is only going to guard like Dennis Smith Jr. Like, no, that's not. He's still going to guard whoever basically the worst wing player they can find on the other team is.
Yeah,
just so they can hide him as much as possible.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be guarding point guards, and offensively, he's going to be running the offense like he always has and always will. All these like fantasies that happen every offseason and in every speculative podcast or whatever, where they're like, "Oh, LeBron is the power forward. That's the shit." He's never going to do that. Like, he's never going to play power forward.
I mean, he does all the time.
Maybe on offense. On defense.
Okay. Oh, all right.
I'm confused as to why like broad proclamations about what position somebody plays are useful really in any way. because you can play point guard on offense, run the offense, and then do something totally different defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like you're not really a point guard unless you're like, oh, half point guard, half power forward. Because yes, LeBron is all the time half point guard, half power forward because that's what he's doing in defense.
Mm-hmm. Although he doesn't do the thing where he's up near the free throw line making plays.
You mean on offense?
Yeah. The way a power forward would do. Yeah.
Because on offense, he's a point guard.
Yeah. Maybe he should though, man. You know, maybe it's a different phase of his career time.
I know, but again, people have been saying this forever. It's never going to happen.
Okay, fine.
He wants to be the maestro. He's always going to want to be the maestro.
Oh, shit, I forgot to move my laundry over.
Oh, it sounds like you're not being a good laundry maestro.
It's true. I wish there was a way I could do laundry as a power forward.
You should, dude. You should figure that out.
Thank you, John.
But I mean, the full quote unquote switchiness of LeBron is just frankly never going to be realized on the offensive end.
Mm-hmm.
We know this by now.
Mm-hmm.
We know this by now. It's obvious.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Anyway, Kawhi is on the Clippers. What do you think about it?
Oh, fun, cool, neat.
Yeah. Pretty
I
crazy.
hope he wins a title because he will have 3 different Finals MVPs with 3 different teams, which has never happened before.
What if he wins a title, but Paul George is the Finals MVP?
Come on. Come on.
Come on, what?
Come on. It's not going to happen.
It very well could.
Counter. Come on.
Paul George is very good.
Yeah, he is, but come on. I think what Kawhi needs to do is win that title, and then he needs to go to another team after that.
Win another title.
Yeah. Like, he just needs to, like, I come into this fucking city, I win a title, I leave. That's what I do.
You know, across team sports in America generally, I think it's largely kind of assumed that the greats in any league, current, historically, are like a one-team kind of guy.
Yeah, but fuck
right?
that.
But fuck that.
How much more impressive is just like, I go to the team, you know, it doesn't matter what fucking team I'm on.
Gretzky was like an early against this grain kind of guy because Gretzky played, and I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about hockey, but I think he played for.
Yeah, sorry. Gretzky. Who is Gretzky?
Wayne Gretzky?
Mm-hmm. I'm not familiar with him.
Okay. Well, I use a pretty notable hockey player.
Sorry, hockey. The field sport from the Olympics?
This is iced hockey.
So the sport from the Olympics with the sticks and the balls, they play it on ice?
Yeah, you know how, like, I know you don't drink coffee, but you've observed people drinking it?
Yeah.
You know it's often, most of the time probably, it's hot, but then every once in a while you see someone with drinking it out of a clear
This happens
plastic.
sometimes when I drink herbal tea.
Oh, you've had iced tea before?
Well, yeah, herbal kinds. The caffeine makes me very antsy.
Things can be iced is generally where I'm going with this.
Oh. Huh.
What do you, all bullshit aside, when I say Wayne Gretzky, you have an image in your head, and what uniform is he wearing?
Well, Rangers.
Me too, and you know what that's about is our age.
Yeah, because I know that I can't remember what team he played before that, but he won like a gazillion championships with some Canadian team, right?
Yes, the Edmonton Oilers, he played there.
Yeah, the Oilers, that's it.
He played there for about 10 years. I mean, he played for nearly 10 years for the Los Angeles Kings.
Huh.
And then he had one season with the Blues, or he got traded to the Blues during his last season with the Kings. And then he had 3 seasons with the Rangers to finish his career.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb I said the Rangers. I didn't know he played that long with the Kings, though.
Yeah. I don't know how many championships.
Do we know anyone who likes hockey?
We must. I don't know if we know anyone who knows enough about it to be, like, good at talking about it.
Like, do you think Katie likes hockey?
Katie does not like hockey.
Okay, I can't think of any other Canadians we know.
Sean Woodley.
Yeah. Does Woodley like hockey?
I don't know.
Can you fire him a Twitter message and ask him if he likes hockey?
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Thanks.
I did a dumb tweet about that stupid Beatles movie.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and
apparently in that movie, there's a scene where he goes to visit John Lennon for moral support because John Lennon didn't get murdered because the Beatles never existed.
well, that sounds like an even dumber movie than I previously thought.
Yeah, I know, right? Sorry,
Yeah. Because let me be clear about this. I thought it sounded really dumb. And now it sounds worse than I thought it was.
Yeah. No, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that the movie shouldn't exist because, for obvious reasons, I probably shouldn't even need to explain that.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
Bad idea, stupid idea. It's for idiots. But I'm getting a number of people like replying to me with like earnest reviews of the film, and they're like earnestly disappointed in the film. And I'm just like, I don't know how to make this any more clear. It shouldn't exist. Like, I don't care if it disappointed you or not. Like, it shouldn't even be real.
The if I was making that movie, I would make it so that Paul McCartney still founded Wings.
That would be a way better movie.
Yeah, like they only had Wings.
What do you think about the Beatles overall?
I love the Beatles.
You know, I listen to Wings way more often than I listen to Beatles.
Maybe there was a time. And you know what? If I was okay, this is what I'll say. This is that as I've gotten older, my taste has gotten more power poppy. And so, like, if you said to me, Corbin, do you want to listen to Yesterday, or do you want to listen to Jet?
Jet rule.
Yeah, I'd say Jet 10 out of 10 times.
Like, I listen to so many Wings songs, and my reaction is just like, this bangs, this whips. Like, this song knocks. I don't feel that way about, like, any Beatles song.
Helter Skelter is kind of knocks. Wow, okay.
Maybe in that sort of affected, I have to pretend that, like...
Yeah, that's the only problem with Helter Skelter as a knocker, is that it's definitely, like... We're really trying really hard to make this knock.
There's so much sentimentality throughout the Beatles' oeuvre, right? Like, it's just so affected in so many different ways. And then you listen to, like, Wings, and it's just like, check out this dope riff.
Yeah.
It's a dope tone.
Yeah. Are you a Ram guy?
I like it all. I'm not like well versed in the discography, but I like Wings.
Yeah. Because that's just where I've gone as I've gotten older. Is like, hey, let's get this Superchunk on, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the guy from Superchunk is friends with Charles Barkley.
Mac is?
I think it's him.
No, it's the bass. No. He's actually not technically from Superchunk.
Oh, he's not.
No, he also plays with Bob Mould. Jason's his name. He plays in another band too. He plays with Worcester a lot. Because you know how Worcester's in a bunch of bands?
When he's just one of these guys who saw Charles Barkley at a bar, and then now they're like...
Yeah, and then fucking...
buddies.
Yeah.
They hang out.
Yeah, yes, I did know that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Man, I want to be text buddies.
Yeah, are you trying to get it out there that if somebody can make this happen?
I would love to see Barkley at the hotel and just like become text friends forever.
I don't think I have it in me.
Oh, I have it in me.
Yeah. I think you might need to be a drinker, you know?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like I think when Barkley went, send 2 over, and I was like, no, thank you, I don't partake.
Excuse me, can you just send 1 over? Right, not 2.
Yeah, I think that Barkley would get up and walk away from me.
Yeah, it's at that moment that all the potential would be dashed.
Yeah, he would leave the building, you know. He'd be like, I will be staying in another hotel now, sir.
Yeah.
Now that I know that they let your kind stay here.
But the Clippers, I mean, Kawhi played 60 games this past season.
Mm-hmm.
He played like 9 or something the season before that.
Mm-hmm.
And with all of that time off...
He was probably kind of trying not to play the season before that, in fairness.
I mean, I think he was genuinely worried about his health.
That too, but...
Yeah. But I actually want to talk about that in a little bit. But
okay, fine, whatever.
I'm forcing myself. Talk about that later. Kawhi on the Spurs.
Okay.
Talk about that later, okay? So...
Cool, great.
But and Paul George just had like 2 recent surgeries. Isn't going to play for the beginning of this season. Has missed a full season in his career.
I totally haven't registered that he wasn't going to play until I was listening to the Windhorse show this morning, and they said, "Oh, he's not going to start the season," and I was like, "What the fuck?" Totally forgot.
Yeah. And so obviously both of these guys have also had a lot of healthy and spectacular MVP level play just this past season. So, but it's going to be a thing where it's like, it's the ultimate like load management balancing trick. Cause it's like, are they both going to be fully healthy in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, right?
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
I don't really have anything else to say about it, John.
Yeah, I don't either. I just I want to watch.
Oh, okay, cool. You want to watch this load management? That's what you're most excited for in the upcoming NBA season. Is how are they gonna walk this tight line? I can't wait. That's the storyline John Wilmes is excited for.
No, I'm excited for the 7.
Are you also wondering who's gonna get off the luxury tax midseason?
No, I'm excited for the dozen or so meaningful games that this team plays through the regular season, and then certainly excited for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you're already over the regular season.
Well, maybe I think it'll be a little spicier than usual this upcoming season because there's a open format kind of feeling to things now that the Warriors are no longer the heavy favorites and that there isn't really a heavy favorite. Get them the fuck
out of here. Man, I'm so glad the Warriors aren't the heavy favorites anymore.
Yeah, but they could still win the championship.
With Thompson out all year?
He'll probably come back.
They're not making. I'll tell you this right fucking now. They're not making the goddamn playoffs.
Well, how much money do you want to bet?
I wouldn't. I'm joking. They probably... Okay, this is what I'll say, though. Like, what if they didn't?
It'll be because Klay didn't come back all year, and Steph also probably got hurt for part of the year.
Mm-hmm. What if Steph got hurt for a bunch of the year, and they made the playoffs entirely on the back of a heroic Draymond performance?
Would not be surprising at all.
Yeah, it'd be cool, right?
Yeah, it'd be fucking tight.
I think that's the only Warriors story that I can like really get behind spiritually, I think.
Oh, I'm like way behind the Warriors now. I'm like into
boo.
It's tight, dude. Like they were too good with Durant. It sucked. Now they're not too good. Like no one's gonna be like, this team is too good. And they're gonna be fun shit to watch. They have Draymond. Give Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Give me a fucking break. It's tight. They're fun to watch. The D'Angelo Russell thing is super weird. I don't expect him to be on the team the whole season, though.
He's a lot taller than I was under the impression he was. If he's a good like drive kick player, though, that could be an interesting mix in with Curry.
Yeah, I have more belief that Steph Curry could get into that type of off-ball behavior than I do that LeBron ever would.
Does he care? Does he want to do that, though? I mean, I think that's the Curry thing. Is that what he's looking to do?
Well, I think in both the case of Steph and LeBron, the numbers in their offensive production are just so much higher when they're on the ball. So it's kind of ridiculous for them to not do that. But I mean, Steph Curry has said that his game is a synthesis of Steve Nash and Reggie Miller. Maybe he should embrace the Reggie Miller.
Mm-hmm. He should also get a navel tattoo, retire, become a commentator, loved only by me.
I also love Reggie Miller.
And also, I'm sorry, and John. And also get really into trail cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steph really could have a second life as like a commentator that frustrates people.
As a fun guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean Woodley says, I like the Leafs.
Uh-huh.
The Toronto Maple Leafs, I assume. I think hockey's okay. And the NHL is a bad league run by a collection of bumblefucks.
Bumblefucks. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I didn't know what a bumblefuck is. Now I'm going to ask him, what
it's
is
like
it's
like an incompetent.
Oh, okay. What else should I ask Sean Woodley?
What's going on?
Corbin now wants to know how you are doing.
Yeah. How's his love life?
That seems a little invasive.
Come on, ask him.
I'm not going to ask him.
Come on.
It's too late. I already asked him something different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, I went to the Sox game a little bit ago.
Oh, yeah, cool. That's in the document.
My uncle had gotten a present, Christmas present, where he stands in a dugout.
Mm-hmm. And they throw balls at him while he jerks off, right?
No, shut up! I knew you were going to say something dumb. He just is part of it. He's part of an honorary member of the field crew, and then after like the third inning.
Field crewing. That's the thing that Giamatti did on that episode of Billions, right?
Field what?
It's that thing that Giamatti did on that episode of Billions, where
I don't understand your joke.
Well, there was more to it, where he dresses up as a member of the field crew, and then his master wife shoves him around and tells him to rake up dirt.
You know, the Billions joke was completely not a normal thing to make based on the story I was telling. So I'm a little worried that you're thinking about Giamatti on Billions a little too much.
I didn't watch the show. You're the one who watches the fucking show. You think about it more than I do.
Well, you're the one who brought it up. I wasn't about to bring it up.
Okay. Well, it's just my S&M go-to now is Giamatti on Billions.
Yeah, I don't know why you had to bring S&M into this nice story about my fucking uncle, though.
All right, go ahead.
So after the third inning or whatever, he gets on the field and they do some dirt maintenance. And,
some dirt maintenance.
Yeah.
Like, you know, somebody shoves his face in the dirt and says, "Eat it."
Fuck
eat
you.
It. You deserve. All right, go ahead.
You're talking about my family right now.
I'm sorry. I'm done. I swear.
Hey, Corbin, how about when your dad shits on your mom?
Oh, come on, that's my family.
Okay, exactly. Now you know how it feels. Anyway, he was going nuts. After the third inning, he comes into the stand and he's like, "Oh my God, grass! I never thought that I could get that excited about grass."
Okay, all right, John.
Well, that part's funny.
Okay,
but you know,
because marijuana.
Well, yeah.
And you were like, "I know how you can get excited about glass, buddy," and you pulled a bong out from nowhere and sparked a fat one and blew it in his face.
You know, I didn't do that at the stadium. I probably would have gotten kicked out.
Yeah, Illinois, am I right?
I don't think you can do that in, like, at a Blazers game.
Of course you can.
You could just pack a fatty bowl indoors.
Yeah, of course.
And start smoking it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you be able to?
Anyway, I went to the game. This was before, like, all the different free agency decisions had been made. And I was there with my other uncle, and he just, like, had obviously, like, listened to sports radio recently or something. And just, like, felt the need to, like, drum up conversation about this.
Well, he's trying to relate to you.
Yeah. Well, no, he was talking to my dad, actually, who doesn't know anything about basketball. Wow. And he's the names he's using, though, he's like, he kept on calling Kawhi Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, they're saying Thomas is going to the Lakers. And I'm like, trying to think of who he even means. I'm like, what do you mean, like Tim Thomas? and
does he mean Isaiah Thomas? And which one?
Right. No, but he's talking about somebody getting like the big contract, and he's like, yeah, you see all this money they're going to give Thomas? I'm just like, what? What's going on? But it shows that people are tapped into like this like free agency, how much money these guys get and stuff,
mm-hmm.
like more than they are into the actual like playoffs or the games.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't even want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we could.
Free agency. People sign
oh yeah. Oh yeah, free agency. I don't know. It's all fake sports, man.
Fake sports.
Yeah.
People can pretend.
Yeah, people being like, oh, this means that this is gonna happen. This doesn't mean anything's gonna happen. I hope that Lakers and the Clippers meet in the first round somehow.
It's possible.
Yeah. Maybe like at 2-7.
Of course it's possible. I mean, 3-6 is...
Yeah, 3-6. That sounds right.
It's the most likely way that would happen, I think.
Yeah. Also, LeBron's going to have a career-ending injury this year. Let's just...
No, he's not.
If it happens, I'm going to sound like a fucking prophet, though, right?
Sean Woodley says that he just got an NBA champion T-shirt in the mail, so he's doing
that's tight. Ask him how his love life is.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I can't open up Twitter or the recording mics,
Well, then I guess we're restricted in that way, and you're not going to be breaking that rule and crashing the recording like you are tempted to do, I know.
Oh, no, yeah. I could go get my iPad and do it on my iPad, I guess. I don't want to, though.
Looks like Cameron Payne has...
Although, if I went and got my iPad, I could also move my laundry over.
Looks like Campaign is going off in Summer League for the Mavericks. 32 points.
All my friends are at Summer League. All my basketball friends, making me feel just a little like lonely.
Well, maybe you should have went.
I didn't have enough money.
Well, you would have had money if you planned earlier.
Yeah, probably. Does it make you feel good to say that? Does it
Yeah, that does actually. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you, could sleep better if you didn't drink so much. I don't know.
That's definitely true. I'm just going to take that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I could be better with money, and you could treat your body better. I don't know.
Friday night, I went to bed at 8:30.
Uh-huh.
Then I woke up at 8:30 the next day, and it was like
Jesus, John.
And it was what?
Nothing. You slept for 12 hours?
Yeah, it was tight. But I woke up and all the Kawhi stuff had happened while I was sleeping.
Oh.
The indelible image to me is the video of Lou Williams and Patrick Beverley sort of like just going nuts on the casino floor.
Why were they in a casino?
They're probably at Summer League.
Oh, yeah.
Would you gamble if you were in Vegas?
Maybe a little.
What kind of gambling would you do?
I'd probably play cards. Even though I'm not good at it.
Blackjack?
Yeah, something like that, maybe.
My grandpa was a card.
Maybe I wouldn't gamble, actually. I don't care for it.
I don't care for it either. It kind of scares me. My grandpa was a card counter.
Uh-huh.
And after he sold his business and retired, he just spent the rest of his life basically on cruise ships playing blackjack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a depressing scene or what?
I know. I think he was doing exactly what he wanted to do.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he loved it. But also, like, I think on a lot of cruise casinos, they're like safer.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't lose all your money in a cruise casino. It's sort of, there's like padding to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they don't really do it's the money of your hand.
Right, and they won't try to kick you out for card counting because my grandpa had been kicked out for card counting at various casinos.
Yeah.
But it's like you're only going to be able to make so much at this cruise casino. And
I don't even understand how they kick people out for card counting on a certain level. Like,
yeah, I think it's mostly just that you're just too successful for too long, and it's a private establishment, and they can do whatever they want.
mm-hmm. Just seems like maybe you don't offer the game then. I don't know.
Well, most people aren't card counters, so...
They just lose a bunch.
Yeah, they just lose a bunch.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand there's a fairly learnable science to this.
Oh, damn. Are you sure you wouldn't gamble? It sounds like you've got some... It's basically free money.
I used to play poker and be okay at it, but I was younger, so I wasn't that good at it.
You know what? I would not gamble. The more I think about it, like... You know, Vegas has casinos. I could probably find a Super Smash Brothers game to get in on.
Oh, yeah, that would be more fun to me, probably.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm pretty close to beating Cuphead.
Oh, cool. I got a little more excited for that than I thought I would.
Yeah, no, it's getting close. I only got two bosses left.
I tell you, I got Super Mario Maker.
I knew that you got it, and I played it at a friend's house over the weekend. It's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
It's hard, though. It's like really hard.
You need a stylus.
A stylus?
Yeah, like a...
Oh, to make the levels well?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't even make them if I got it.
Oh, you just play them?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Seems like too much work to make levels. Also, I'm not really a maker of things when it comes to video games.
That's part of the reason I got it, is because I wanted to see, like...
You want to be more of a maker.
No, I want, because I feel like I play video games kind of often. Not, I'm no, I can't think of anybody we know who plays video games a lot, even though we had them on the show before. I'm no John Bernhardt, but I enjoy a video game from time to time. And a little piece of me is like, what if I had this little tool? See what I can do.
Yeah, you should check it out, man.
Anyway, good talk.
Yeah, pretty good talk.
What were we talking about?
Cuphead.
Cool.
Mario.
Great. Yeah. Cool. Hope you beat it.
Basketball. You gotta love Kobe White at Summer League.
Haven't really been watching Summer League.
Well, I've been seeing the highlights. I love Kobe White.
What's this guy do? What's his thing?
He's point guard for the Chicago Bulls.
Oh. Cool.
He's very fast, and he's showing a little more vision at Summer League than I frankly thought he had at this point.
Hey,
so
John.
That's good. Yeah, did you see this Jim Boylan quote, though?
No, what'd he say?
Here's a tweet from friend of the program, Sean Hyken, at Hyken.
Uh-huh.
He's reporting from Summer League.
Mm-hmm.
Sean says, Jim Boylan was extremely on brand when talking about the earthquake, because there was an earthquake at Summer League last week. Mm-hmm. And here's Jim Boylan's quote. I just think it's the awesome power of nature to think that something can move that building that much. Uh-huh. It's awe-inspiring to me.
Uh-huh. Did you read the article about the preschool?
No.
Oh, man.
What is that?
It's like this article about this Brooklyn preschool and about how they hired a new director, and the director turned out to be like this big star fucker. And not actually, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And was just like all about giving Maggie Gyllenhaal everything she needed,
and just like wasting like school funds on making sure they had everything for Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I don't think that's quite what the case was, because I think it is actually maybe going a little bit more the other way, like in part because like celebrities are easy to butter up so you can get their money. Anyway, JJ Redick gets involved because his children attended the school, and apparently JJ Redick's house has some wallpaper that looks like a Louis Vuitton bag that he got for his wife.
Well, that's just what that wife of his prefers. His other wife is into different designs.
Sorry, this is copyright violation.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I actually gave them the article, And so what I'm going to say is listen to Roundball Rock this week. They're probably going to talk about this article. It's so crazy. It's so crazy how goofy it is. Anyway.
I think that the concept of J.J. Redick having multiple families is open source, so you don't have to put the.
I maintain that we came up with which players eat ass first.
It doesn't matter to me who came up with it.
Okay.
There's a DM between you and myself and other people who have basketball podcasts and things of that nature.
Uh-huh.
And to me, there's always too much consternation about who was the first person to come up with a certain jokey concept. None of the credit doesn't matter to me. It's not. I mean, I don't come up with anything myself either.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, because you're a moron.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
You're like a slobbering fucking idiot.
Right, sure. People have described me as that before.
Yeah. Like the only thing you eat is raw rice.
All right, I'm gonna start to. You have to stop now.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to say something nice about me now. Actually,
you shit rice pudding.
What?
That's nice. That would be nice if you shit rice pudding.
That's just
rice pudding's tasty.
That's just made up.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I have to say something nice about you now? I don't know. You're a good writer.
Yeah.
When I was looking for an invoice, you said that I should you gave me somebody I could ask.
Well, then I gave you the invoice.
Yeah, then you just gave me the invoice.
Yeah. All right, we'll say some more nice stuff about me.
You taught me that the Cubs are whack.
Oh, that's true. I did. Yeah, it felt so good to be at the White Sox game.
Away from...
After having gone to a Cubs game a few weeks prior.
Away from the slovenly hogs of Lower Wrigley.
Yeah, one of the things that I've realized about the friction between Sox fans and Cubs fans that exists, the cultural divide, so to speak, in recent weeks, is that every sort of like bad thing that a Cubs fan wants to try to say about the Sox or Sox fans is like not a quality that I consider to be negative.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, yeah, no, I like that. They'll be like, oh, well, you guys can't even sell out your games like we do. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's good. Like, I can relax at the game and I'm not surrounded by idiots.
Yeah, I could get a nicer seat for less money.
Yeah, it's positive. Like, oh, you guys don't have nearly as much attention and big of a fan base. Yeah, okay, good.
Great. I'm not a Lakers fan.
Yeah, I'm not a Lakers fan. I don't care. I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm not a fucking Cubs
fucking Lakers fan. Man. They just got yanked with strings, man.
Well, it was so easy.
Yeah. It's just too easy, guys.
R.A. Abraham.
Yeah. You need to not be out here getting grifted like this.
There's nothing he reported that literally anyone else couldn't have. I could have tweeted everything he tweeted.
Yeah.
Before he tweeted it, if I was interested in doing that, right? In pretending to be a news source.
I mentioned him in something I wrote this week, and
I know.
Yeah. It's at least one person was like, "Ugh, Corbin." But I just thought he was valuable for the point I was making, that like the same grifteriness that has sort of infected a certain kind of political thing. It can be weaponized against Lakers fans very easily.
It can be applied in many ways, in many places.
Yeah, and I think that Lakers fans in particular, it seems like it really works on, because it speaks to their self-regard. You know, it speaks to how they see themselves.
There's a sort of QAnon level of imagination when it comes to believing certain truths about the Lakers.
Yeah. Like they've been taught Lakers. It's like, you know, Trump's was going to arrest all the pedophiles.
Right. And so now that Jeffrey Epstein has been arrested, they're like, see?
Yeah.
Even though like Trump hangs out with that dude.
Yeah. And the Lakers from birth, their fans have been taught that the title is theirs by right. So like anything that happens, it's just feeding into them, you know, winning the title, because it's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's similar to like very religious people who attribute every good thing that happens to God.
Oh, damn. Got him.
I mean, you're just like, it's like a nice day.
Shit. Fuck.
It's like a nice day out, and somebody's
oh my
like,
God.
look at what God gave us.
Shit.
Well, maybe it's just July.
Yo, maybe it's just patterns, bro.
I don't know. I mean, you don't have to put on the affected, fake, profound voice.
Sorry, you're right. I'm sorry.
Right now.
I just, I don't think that we need to, rag on God here.
I'm not ragging on God. It's literally not what I'm doing.
Kind of seems like you are.
I mean, if you don't understand the concept of attribution, I could understand why you would come up with.
Were we going to talk about the Bleacher Report banner?
If you want to,
because you said we got to talk about this, and I was like,
I just kind of wanted to go through it a little bit on the podcast.
Okay, go. Can you pull it up for me?
It's going to take me a second, but yes, I can. Basically, women's U.S. soccer team, of course, won yesterday. They won the World Cup, and the Bleacher Report had a briefly lived tweet. It was
a classic, I think.
Just atomically ridiculed. From the moment it existed, to a degree that clearly signaled to them that they needed to delete it, and that it was an ill-advised post due to its overall lack of coherence.
Can you send it over to me?
I'm having a hard time finding it.
Oh yeah, I actually was too. Okay.
But basically, it was like one team for America, and it's like this deep. We can call this the deep fried aesthetic, right? Similar to like the photo that Kawhi has pinned to his profile page of him meeting Barack Obama. Similarly deep fried image. Here we go. I just messaged it to you.
Thank you so much.
It just says one nation, one team for the USA, and it's like in the front, it's the roster of the U.S. women's national team, and behind that is just like this random ass collection of famous people.
The Sergeant Pepper amalgamation.
Yeah, we've got Tom Cruise, we've got Beyonce, Will Smith, we got fucking Iron Man,
which all right.
Taylor Swift,
Captain Marvel. You know what? Captain Marvel makes sense. That's a powerful lady.
That makes a little bit of sense. Venus Williams. Hey, you know what? That makes a little bit of sense.
Once again, powerful lady. Does it have Serena? Does it only have Venus?
Yeah, I can't get my head around all these people.
Candace Parker looks like is on here once again. Kind of makes sense.
Zac Efron.
Nope.
Brad Pitt, Kobe, LeBron, Ellen, Beyonce, Jay-Z. Miles.
Kobe especially distasteful, considering.
Miley Cyrus. The entire cast of the sitcom Friends.
That's true. All 6 of them.
Jennifer Lawrence, Steve Carell.
Steve Carell as Michael Scott.
Landon Donovan. Makes sense because he's a soccer player. Doesn't make sense because
he's a fucking loser.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far.
He's a widely loathed loser.
I wouldn't say that he's
playing for a shitty team that nobody actually likes.
All right, well, let's take it. I know that you feel like you have to take it up the mantle of like hating American soccer or whatever.
Oh, I like American women's soccer.
Hating American men's soccer.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you've like aggressively taken on this mantle, even though you clearly don't even really watch soccer.
Nope, I don't. So that's the thing. But they just lose so much. They get paid more than the women. Like, well, they should definitely be paid. Why can't we just be like, fuck this?
Well, I mean, just from a strict.
Why does anybody care? I've never understood with the United States men's national team. Is who gives a like they're always going to lose. Who cares? They're always going to lose, and they're always going to be like Americans who are like, whatever.
I mean, they don't. Let me actually speak. I know that you want to have this lava take go long form on a subject that you're not informed about, but
I even think I've written 1,500 words about it before.
Yeah, well, that somebody probably shouldn't have paid you for that, but
wow, okay.
I mean, you don't watch soccer, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so what?
The men's national team in U.S. is not notably bad. They're just not that great.
Yeah, and they're whack.
I don't know why you think that they're quote unquote whack.
It's whack. If you were a good athlete in America, you'd play any other sport.
That's the stupidest take. That's just really dumb.
All right.
It's incorrect.
Just just seems like all of our worst athletes are getting filtered down into our whack men's national team. Women's team, fucking dope. Love them.
That's not true.
Okay, because it just seems like a country of 250 million people fields a soccer team that frequently does not make the World Cup.
They didn't make it last time.
They just lost to Mexico again.
That's not the World Cup. Usually they lose to Mexico. That's a better team than ours.
That's true. Because their good athletic talent gets filtered into that team. All of ours go somewhere else. Like when you watch the USMNT, it's basically like watching like minor league minor league basketball or something. If these guys were good at sports, they would play baseball.
Sometimes I feel like I have to teach you what culture is in the most broad sense possible.
Okay, go ahead, teach me.
But I'm definitely not getting paid enough for that, so it's not going to be happening.
It looks like Serena Williams is on here.
One of the kids from Stranger Things.
That's true. One of the kids from Stranger Things is on here.
Andy Samberg.
Gronkowski.
Yeah. Just very confusing stuff to me. The Weeknd.
Is Gronkowski eat ass? Have we had this one? Have we done this one?
Gronkowski eats ass.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Selena Gomez.
Does he do it because he's generous or because he's depraved or both?
It's literally every reason you could think of.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you.
That's just a guy who lives for experiences.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
They have the gay couple from Modern Family on here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, pretty baffling piece of work.
Didn't last for very long.
You know what the most fucked up thing about it is to me, I think? Where's Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
You have Iron Man, but not Spider-Man? Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, why is that the most baffling thing to you about a thing
I just can't imagine why you would execute this really weird idea. I don't even necessarily think it's a bad idea. I mostly just think it's weird.
It's so weird. Why is the cast of Friends in here?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why Dr. Ruth is on it. Like
was it a joke? Were they meaning to be funny?
I mean, if it was meaning to be a joke, it's a pretty funny joke.
It's a great joke if that's what they were going for.
Yeah. But I just don't understand why you have Iron Man on it, not Spider-Man.
Well, there's a lot of things that are more confusing to me about it than that. I'll tell you that much.
Right,
but
fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I just to backtrack briefly 1 second. Obviously, the women should be paid more than men. They create more value. More people watch the game.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you, like, if you if America completely fucking dismantled the U.S. men's national team, maybe even MLS, and just redirected all of the effort and resources that have gone into trying to get people in America into men's soccer, which people have mostly not done. And they just were like, you know what America is now? It's the fucking ladies soccer country. Like, our league is the best ladies soccer league because we took all this dipshit MLS money. It's not fair. But like, we took all this MLS money and we just invested it in getting all the world's best women's players in America to play in our league. I just think that would be like I think that would be a cooler endeavor than MLS. I think it would be a more successful endeavor than MLS.
I just think that you, in your sort of
like Landon Donovan is on, like, you are looking at Landon Donovan right now, and it's like it's like a sucking hole of charisma.
I just think that in your self-appointed mission to be the wildest take meister alive,
okay,
that you have taken an obvious truth, which is the women's team creates more value than the men's team and deserves to be paid more, and extended it into an insane vision on a topic that you aren't informed.
Why is this an insane vision, John?
You're talking about erasing an entire league.
No, I'm talking about gutting that league and replacing it with a women's league that has the same amount of promotion, resources, and effort behind it.
Well, if Adam Smith were here, he might say that there is a concept of proof to that is strong enough such that the market will make that happen to some extent. But the patriarchy is not something that he accounted for in his little story about the invisible hand. So that might not.
That's the thing. We just have an opportunity here to just drive a katana into the patriarchy's neck.
But also, it's not as.
But then there's these USMNT people who are like, "No, we have to keep caring about their terrible garbage team. Just give up. Just give it up, and take any of that effort and put it into the women's team."
It's not a terrible garbage team.
They're awful. They're horrible.
No, they're not.
They're a nightmare, John.
You can't even name anyone on the team.
What team?
The U.S. men's national team.
Kristen Pulisic. Yes, I can.
Okay, well, you could name the one person. How many all-time American men's national team soccer players can you name?
Donovan, Clint Dempsey.
Good work.
Pulisic, Alexi Lawless. Probably somebody who played for the Timbers at some point, whose name I can't remember.
You don't seem...
Even though I worked for the team for 3 years.
You don't seem capable of naming the one guy who would probably make your thesis strongest.
Who?
Which is Michael Bradley.
Oh, yeah, that guy sucks.
Yeah, he's not very good.
Yeah, I forgot about Michael Bradley, because everyone fucking hates him, and he's still on the team, right?
Yeah, his dad was the coach. He hasn't been the coach for a while, but... I mean, I think that the fact that he was still on the team after his dad...
I'm just saying, like this little baby boy Michael Bradley drifting around.
I mean, he used to be a little bit promising, honestly. But yeah, no, he's not very good.
I didn't even know you like soccer. You like soccer?
I simply know a lot more about it than you do.
All right. I only watched one World Cup game.
I'm at the point in my life where I don't really watch a lot of sports other than NBA. I watch a ton of NBA, but I feel like it's so time consuming that I don't really watch other sports. I follow the White Sox closely. I don't watch a lot of games. But so I didn't watch I haven't watched any sports since the finals were over.
Wow.
So I didn't watch any.
You've only been watching groundskeeper pornography. Like pornography about groundskeepers.
That's not what I've been doing.
I've been trying baseball stadium.
I've been trying to read more, motherfucker.
I'm also trying to, hey, I'm trying to do that too.
Jesus. All right. Any closing remarks? Any closing thoughts here?
I could have sworn there was something else we were going to talk about today.
Probably, but I don't remember what it was. So
you probably should have written in the document, John.
Yeah, but I didn't. So.
Did we really talk about the Westbrook thing? Westbrook.
We have to talk about Westbrook.
Okay, there we go.
Just go ahead and say it.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to say.
Oh, I thought that maybe you would understand that you're supposed to say you hate to see it.
I
actually do hate to see it.
I don't quite hate to see it as much because Westbrook's not a bad person.
No, he's not.
I think that Blazer fans go a little hard on that one.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, Harden I like in a really perverse way, but I understand why people loathe him. I think that Westbrook is mostly just a guy who shoots himself in the dick.
He's completely a guy who shoots himself in the dick. I have, it's like I'm a little hardened now. I'm older, right?
Yeah.
And I used to be a fan who, even as recently as like 4 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, I wouldn't give up on certain things with players, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I would still believe that LeBron was going to transition into playing power forward. I would still believe that Russell Westbrook could develop self-control in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he can't.
I no longer believe in any of those things.
No. Players don't change, man.
They can, but those things aren't changing about those players.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's certainly not. Like the sort of pathological, that like heaviest aspect pathologically of somebody's imprint on the game, that's never going to change. Right? Like Patrick Beverley is never going to not be a dog on defense, right? Like he's always going to be that way.
Yeah.
And Russell Westbrook is never going to develop discretion.
Yeah. No, there's no way.
He
didn't develop discretion while playing with somebody who was astronomically better than him.
Yeah. Well, two people, frankly.
George, I also think that George is a more valuable player than him.
Objectively he is.
Yeah. But like a lot of that value comes from his defense.
He's also way better on offense.
All right. Yeah, probably, but
at this point. But
what if I said that they are similarly talented?
Yeah, you could, but
but Durant on the other hand is like galaxies more talented than Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean at this point it's obvious, but Westbrook is one of the most insane athletes we've ever had in the NBA.
Yeah, in both ways.
Yes, in just like pure power and in like baffling lack of discipline and discretion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. But if he could develop the things that he'll never develop, in all likelihood, he's still a pretty fucking good athlete. I think people overstate what he's lost in terms of speed. Like, he hasn't lost much of that at all. He is bafflingly lost.
Yeah, but then what? But like, what does he put it into, man? He puts it into rebound snatching.
That wouldn't really matter like that much, honestly. If he could just, people wouldn't even talk about that, honestly. If he could just make a mid-range jumper, which he used to be able to do, and if he could make his free throws, which he used to do.
That is a real, like, how the fuck did that end up happening?
These things make him like a problematic player. Like, you have to wonder like what level of value he has.
He's the opposite of Gobert. Gobert, the kids need to respect what Rudy Gobert does out there. The children should not be respecting what Russell Westbrook does out there.
They should be envious of his physical abilities, but they shouldn't be taking any lessons.
What do you think is going to happen?
I can't imagine anybody wanting to trade for him. Actually, I can. Detroit and Miami are both teams that I could imagine doing it.
What about the New York Knickerbockers?
That could happen. Obviously, this is like all East Coast teams, right? Like, nobody in the West is gonna be.
Miami might be an interesting.
Miami's the East, dude.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you already said, Miami.
Yeah, no, it would. Jimmy Butler,
just as far as like a team where he could actually have utility.
Jimmy Butler would be so bad.
Bad?
Mad.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know what makes that guy mad and what doesn't, though. Like,
he wants to be the guy.
Yeah, but there are things. Okay.
I mean, it would be a shit show, personality-wise. But yeah, I don't know. It's like this is such a new reality. The shit drops really unexpectedly. This Paul George trade.
I don't know if I know what Jimmy Butler wants 100% all the time.
Well, one thing that he wanted and he finally got is the max contract, right? And he was in a series of situations where that wasn't going to happen for him. The Bulls weren't going to max him out, and then the Wolves couldn't max him out because they were dumb and gave Wiggins a premature extension, which
I forgot about that.
The Nuggets and Sixers both did with Murray and Simmons, respectively.
Yeah, but Murray is almost certainly good.
Yes, both of those guys.
Simmons is a long philosophical argument, but I think we can agree he's better than Wiggins at least.
We can both agree that he made an all-star team in his second season.
Okay, all right. Jesus.
and has a pretty significant impact on winning. So. The level of projecting you do on this topic is kind of out of control.
All right, okay.
You definitely leave reason abruptly.
Did you hear that maybe Kyle Kuzma?
Oh yeah, there's a picture of Kyle and Kendall Jenner on a.
Yeah. Did you hear that maybe they that he applied the cuckold's horns to one Ben Simmons?
Oh, he swooped in. I mean, we don't really know what the fuck goes on with these people.
Yeah, I guess
but
that's true.
It's obvious that there's something potentially happening.
It's time to wonder if I almost don't want to say it. All right.
Yeah, don't even say it.
It's time to wonder if maybe Ben Simmons is a trash dick game.
Come on.
Look, I'm not saying he does. But, there's just a lot of speculation.
No, there's not.
I want to make it clear that I'm joking.
Yeah. Well, maybe you shouldn't.
Damn. Cold. Whew, got a little open scab on my knee here.
Oh, maybe that's from diving headlong into subjects that you're not well versed on.
Wow, okay. First, you're like Corbin, you don't know anything about soccer. Now you're like Corbin, you don't know anything about Ben Simmons' personal and sexual life. Come on.
Yeah, no, I think that you don't.
Wow.
Wild. So I do want to backtrack with you mentioned the Kawhi thing came up, and you were like, well, in fairness, he maybe was sort of like just holding out in that season with the Spurs.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, this isn't an insider podcast. We don't know what happened there.
Uh-huh.
But
I'm
what do you
not
think?
Brian Windhorse. I'm not handsome like that.
If we were to do a compare and contrast Kawhi's last season with the Spurs, Anthony Davis's last season with the Pelicans,
Uh-huh.
what's the compare and contrast look like here?
I don't know what you're trying to get at, so just go ahead.
Well, to me, the biggest difference is style, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's also information. We just don't know that much about really what happened with Kawhi and the Spurs.
because he doesn't talk and they don't talk.
No, so we don't really know what happened there. But with Anthony Davis, we kind of know what happened, right? Because his people talk a lot, and
Yeah.
he
has a notably chatty agent.
And the Dell Demps Pelicans were not exactly.
Yeah,
tough.
they're just a bad organization.
They were not tough to wring information out.
Yeah, they just
So
don't keep their shit on lock, and LeBron's people just tactically talk to literally anybody all the time.
In both situations, though, of course, we have max level, MVP level players who are like forcing their way off of their teams, and they're not teams that are particularly fouling them either. It's just like, no, I don't want to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
In Kawhi's case, there's ample reason to believe he's doing it because of a medical thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot of room to speculate about the psychological aspects of it. Like, for instance, oh gosh, what season was it? It would have been 2015-16 probably, or 2016-17. I don't know. It was the year that Westbrook and Harden were. It would have been 2016-17 because Westbrook won the MVP, right? And all year it was like Westbrook or Harden, Westbrook or Harden. Kawhi was better than both of those guys that year,
Mm-hmm.
and was not really getting his love in the MVP race, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Because Popovich just always ends up getting all the credit. I mean, and like, don't give me 100%. Popovich is a wonderful coach, but
Right.
The sports media really likes deflecting credit. I mean, then again, Kawhi just got the Clippers the score of the year, and guess who's getting credit for it?
he is.
Yeah, well, also Jerry West.
Not really.
Okay, go on. Jeez.
I think that you like to imagine there's a lot more Jerry West praise out there than there is.
Well, it just all finds its way into my...
Yeah, I think that you have a bias in navigating the world that determines that you to find all of the Jerry West praise, because for some reason it's like your ultimate take fuel.
Okay, go ahead.
But in reality,
you know what, John? I want you to fucking read his book and tell me that you came away from it like without thinking that without like having a negative feeling about him.
I already do have a negative feeling about him.
Okay.
But I'm also like willing to and able to compromise it with, an objective
society at large.
Yeah, and just like an objective knowledge that he's very good at being in the front office of NBA teams. He's very good at that. I don't think that he's a guy I want to deal with, and he has hired private investigators to spy on his players before.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But he's obviously very good at this.
I forgot about that. Oh,
and he
I should have
doesn't
mentioned
really
that in the thing I wrote.
He doesn't really get that much credit for it. Like, people don't talk about it that much. Kawhi was the architect of his own destiny here, right? And then the Clippers made it work. Mm-hmm. But he was the one who said, you have to get this guy or I'm not coming. So, but yeah, the Anthony Davis just shitting, just like, it's a matter of style, right? Because Kawhi, it's discreet. Like, I understand players are going to force their way off of teams, right? And I understand that they're going to do that even when that team is good. Mm-hmm. But to like just put all of your teammates and your coach and these people who have little to no agency over being here, right? Just through all this shit because you don't want to be here, it's just really bad. It's just dumb. And like the way they handled the whole situation just really puts a shitty aftertaste in my mouth about AD. I just think that it was unnecessarily insulting. Hostile and insulting.
I think that he shouldn't. I don't blame him for not wanting to play in New Orleans. So.
Well, I know, because this is another one of your...
yeah, peccadillos, yeah.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of scrapes all over your knees from this take. Like, you gotta... I think you actually might need to go to a doctor.
Oh, really? Because I'm too handsome?
Oh, no, because of your disturbing...
disturbing.
Disturbing intensity.
Wow, disturbing.
I would say that, yeah.
Yeah, like you think about it and you go... Oh.
No, it's a little troubling to me how much negative energy you sublimated into this weird idea.
Oh, wow.
Where you think that
I can't believe. Oh no. Jesus, John.
Where you think you should be some vociferous critic of a city you've never been to and don't really know anything about.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Information free.
Sure, there's probably a fucking city that you like to rag on.
It's not New Orleans, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
It's not a cool city.
Which city do you like to rag on?
I'm not a big fan of the state of Indiana.
Damn! Nah, that tracks. What Indiana city? If you were going to be like, fuck such and such Indiana city, which one would you go with?
There's a lot of them.
Okay, wow.
Something you have to understand is that my mom's family is from the south suburbs of Chicago, just south of the city, and a lot of people in the south suburbs and just on the south side are like, it's very close to Indiana, basically. Right? And a lot of these people are constantly, they could either hang out in Indiana with people they know there, so they're always like jumping over the state line. And a lot of people who live on the Illinois side of the line, particularly in that area, South Side Irish and Polish people for sure, are always like, oh, well, we're going to move to Indiana because, the fucking crooked Democrats running the state and like better taxes or whatever in Indiana. And I'm always like, shut the fuck up. You're not going to move to Indiana, you idiot. Like, it's Indiana. But some people actually do it, right? My parents don't. They always just say they're going to.
Okay.
But Indiana is like the worst state in terms of like how it's run in the government and shit. Right now they have like a situation where
Mike Pence was literally their governor.
Literally, Mike Pence was their governor.
Yeah.
He literally passed anti-gay legislation. Anyway, they have a situation now where they have like a lot of infrastructure needs, and
really? Oh, really? That time when Mike Pence was their governor?
Oh yeah, maybe not so good.
Huh? Shocking. Wow, you're fucking turning me on Indiana. Keep going.
But so it has been proposed to them that they take some federal funds to expedite this shit, but they're on some bootstrap shit as a state where they're like, no, we're going to solve this on our own. And let me tell you, I drove to Michigan recently, and everybody drives through Indiana to get to Michigan from Chicago, right? And you know what? There's a sign.
Does that make sense?
There's a sign at one of the highways crossing the Indiana border. Well, yeah, it's the only way to do it, Corbin.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Unless you have a boat and you can go across the lake, but I don't have a boat like that.
Damn, I'm sorry, bro. Oh, do you have a different kind of boat?
Yeah, it's called the Shut the Fuck Up Corbin boat.
Oh.
But so...
If you don't mind me saying, it's the SS Shut the Fuck Up Corbin boat.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, we're going to Michigan, and lo and behold, the traffic on these interstates in Indiana it's basically the worst track I've ever experienced. And there's just like one steamroller for like this 10-mile obstruction, barely doing anything. You have like a 4-lane highway whittled down into 1 lane. Like, motherfucker, take that federal money. Get rid of this bootstraps fantasy. There's signs on the border that say Indiana's Crossroads. You know why? Because everybody drives through. Nobody stops there. The only cool thing about Indiana on I-65 South, there's the world's second largest wind farm.
Oh.
Which is tight as fuck. Also, I like the Pacers.
Just not the college team.
Oh no, I don't care about college sports. Okay. But the Pacers are tight. They're really tight.
Yeah.
Nate McMillan, big love.
Ron Artest.
Yeah, one of his many franchises.
Yeah, let's call it, his home. I think it's safe to say.
So my sister was born. My parents did live in Indiana before I was born. My sister was born in Indiana.
Oof. Is it hard to know that? Somebody that I always forget you have a sister.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like,
what's her number?
Culturally speaking, it's sort of the Indiana. If you're from a family that's from South suburbs, it's always this sort of like bartering stick, this reactionary bartering stick, right? And I'm just like, no, I'm not into it. Also, I
gotta tell you, man. I came away from this not liking Indiana.
I've had only bad experience.
Like, I went into this wanting to be like, see, you also have an irrational dislike of a state.
It's rational, but I also live next to it, so I have some information. I don't have irrational opinions about things.
I can't dislike Washington or Oregon. Like, normally when you live in one or the other, you kind of are like...
I mean, I dislike Illinois.
Fuck Oregon or fuck Washington. But because I live in Washington, in the Portland metropolitan area, and I went to college in Washington, I can't do that.
Yeah, I dislike Illinois, though. I just like Chicago.
Isn't there another fun part of Illinois? Am I crazy?
You might have some fun in a few college towns here and there, but
yeah, I don't know, that's fun, right?
If you're at college age, otherwise you might not have fun there.
Yeah.
Once you move past the sophomoric, which I hope you'll do someday.
Oh, thanks. No promises. Yeah. No promises.
Okay, I feel like that's been enough. Some heavy lifting we did here today.
Wow, yeah. Man, what should I do tonight?
I don't even know what your options are.
I don't either. Should I go see Spider-Man again?
Do you want to?
No, not really.
All right, well then don't.
Did you see it?
I did. I don't want to talk anymore, though. We've been talking for too long.
I just don't have anyone else to talk to.
I just sort of reject hot Aunt May as a thing.
Wow. Why?
I don't want Aunt May to be hot. I think that the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies are just so connected to my youth that I just reject much of what goes on in other Spider-Mans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't like.
I don't think that any of this shit should be canon. You know, I think everything should be remixable, and you can take fresh looks on everything, honestly. But the Spider-Man stuff, for me, just so connected to my youth that I'm like, why isn't it like it used to be?
Wow. All right. Look,
but we can talk more about it on the next podcast.
Look, it's not my fault that John doesn't think that aunts should be hot.
I just Aunt May's a sweet old lady to me. She's not some.
No, well, in this one, she's a sweet old lady.
Yeah, that's just. I don't want that in Spider-Man necessarily.
Oh, good.
But maybe I just need to move on.
Thanks for joining us. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/takeitobreakit. Listen to other episodes. Share them with your friends.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Rate and review on iTunes.
You know, commit some financial stake into this podcast and into the Bitch Center.
Yeah. GoFundMe.com/Bitch Center.
Yeah.
We're having some trouble with our bond.
Patreon.com/takeitobreakit.
Yeah. Yeah. If we get 2,000 donors, we will begin to construct the Bitch Center.
It's already started, dude.
Yeah. Can't wait. Thanks for listening, and everybody have a wonderful day.